Welcome back to the channel. It's time for chapter 45 of the Ichinose family's deadly sins. Welcome once again to my channel, guys. It's time for another Ichinose family chapter review. It's going to be on chapter 45. There's technically today only one more chapter left for me to review. There is going to be another one released by the time this video releases, so I will have to make a video eventually next week on it. But this chapter was really good. We kind of get a little bit more information of what's going on in reality, and it seems like they're definitely going with a different direction. Nonetheless, I'm very excited to see what else is going to come. Now, before anything, you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. I have quite a bit of chapter reviews on the Ichinose family. Some of them are joined together in one video just because there was a point where I was trying to catch up. I'm all cut up down, so I'm doing chapter by chapter. So yeah, anyways, gosh, I think I'm not forgetting anything. Comment and like. I'm trying to get straight to the thing because I'm actually real excited about this series and what direction it's going. Now, I always thought it was going to be something about Sota or the mom, right? It just seems like they were highlighting them too much. Shiori was at one point being highlighted a little bit, the sister, but you know, not as much as when they highlighted the mom and Sota. So we've been on both of them basically in the relationship they had as mother and son for a while. So I just, in my gut, was like, yeah, it has to be the them. And no, it was the dad. Now, it did come out to be the dad a few chapters ago, but I still had, because there's a lot of twists and turns on this one, so I still had hope that it was maybe something else, and it still can be. I don't really know what direction it's going, but it still can be. Last chapter ended with Tsubasa looking for his dad. He wants to ask him questions like, what the heck is going on? Why are we back in the dream? And he goes into an empty room. He doesn't find him. Now, from that point, they essentially go into a little background story on the dad, and it was interesting. I've talked to people about this, and it's actually very common to see someone like this, but essentially he had a happy childhood. Dad was always supporting, mom was always supporting. If he would get a 70, they would still celebrate it. You know, it was an accomplishment at the end of the day. But then he grew up, and his son was expected a lot higher expectations from his own father, the grandfather. So Sota, from little, his grandfather was on him. You have to get better grades, and we're gonna celebrate you when you have an A, not a 70 or 80. And the dad starts realizing that the reason that he thought he had a good life was because nothing was expected out of him, which is like gut wrenching, to be honest, for an adult, right? He's realizing that his worth wasn't as much as he thought it was. I just realized I'm wearing a red shirt with a red background. Horrible choice, but oh well. This went into him basically wanting to make his dad proud, and we get this one scene which is him in the computer, and we see everyone in the room basically knocked out, and essentially he said, this time for sure I'm gonna make everyone happy. And it's, you know, it's confirmation that the dad's behind all of this. He has them asleep, he has them in this coma, and then before anything is done with that part, we now see Shiori breaking the fourth wall of the dream once again, and she's talking to mom and letting her know, like, hey, we don't know each other, we need to fix each other. She's like, I've never supported anyone, I've always been supported, and because of that I don't know how to do it. And so she already like she breaks herself. Like, she goes into tears and explains to mom that she believes that they're wrong. They're wrong in believing and wanting this dream. And they're still a family. They can still fix it, but they have to fix it and not ignore the fact that there is a problem there. So we get a little background, thoughts of her basically having the baby, Sota, basically how her and her husband started the family. We get a little bit of that. It's all cute and stuff, and then the realization that she is a mother and she needs to fight for what's going on. And the chapter ends with her surprising the dad, I guess in the real world, and saying, I woke up. That's the end of the chapter. This nice, mysterious scene. Now, we don't know why he's in front of all these TVs. I can only assume that he's able to control the dream and view what's happening, and because he can view what's happening, he can maybe control what's happening in the dream. We do know that his father was a great scientist. He did a lot of stuff. He wanted the grandson Sota to follow his steps. So I can only imagine that he basically tried to play God, and he went into the psychological part of the brain and changed the way they thought and the way they felt, and he basically forced a coma for all the family members. And through that, for some reason or somehow, he's able to control the dream. But it seems like that if you want to, or at least the mom, if she wanted to, she could wake herself up, which means that maybe other characters can do the same, which explains what happened back in the beginning of the series, where they started like disappearing one by one. I feel like they were realizing, oh, I'm in a dream, and they would wake themselves up. So it seems like mom and dad maybe were involved in this time when they went into a dream, but I don't know. I'm so confused. I really am. I'm excited that there's another chapter out for me to read, but I know that the next chapter won't be a concluding chapter, so it's still a little bumming that I still don't know. So we'll see. For now, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Check out my other videos on this series. I have quite a bit of them. If you haven't seen any of this series, you should check it out. It's on Shonen Jump and other websites online. I'm not sponsored by them, so you can find it anywhere where you want. So thank you guys so much for the support, and guys, like always, don't be strangers, go read it, it's so good.